Welcome to a journey into wisdom, where the timeless insights of Stoicism will guide us to a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Let's begin. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. The world turns aside to let any man pass who knows where he is going. Epictetus. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Seneca. It's not events that upset us but our judgments about events. Epictetus. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl. Difficulty is what wakes up the genius. Nassim Nicholas Taleb. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Seneca. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. Seneca. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius. No great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Marcus Aurelius. Misfortune nobly borne is good fortune. Marcus Aurelius. We must undergo a hard winter training, and not rush into things for which we haven't prepared. Epictetus. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Epictetus. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. Seneca. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your own estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Marcus Aurelius. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Seneca. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Seneca. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Epictetus. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Epictetus. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? Epictetus. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. Seneca. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. Seneca. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Marcus Aurelius. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Marcus Aurelius. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. Epictetus. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Seneca. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. Seneca. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Epictetus. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Marcus Aurelius. Time heals what reason cannot. Seneca. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. Seneca. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Epicurus. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Seneca. What upsets people is not things themselves but their judgments about these things. Epictetus. It is quality rather than quantity that matters. Seneca. Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Marcus Aurelius. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Seneca. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. Seneca. Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves. Epictetus. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Seneca. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. If you want to be a writer, write. Epictetus. There is no easy way from the earth to the stars. Seneca. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Marcus Aurelius. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus. What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for some goal worthy of him. Viktor Frankl. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Seneca. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus. There is no genius without a touch of madness. Seneca. You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. Epictetus. Time discovers truth. Seneca. One cannot pursue one's own highest good without at the same time necessarily promoting the good of others. Epictetus. We ought to do good to others as simply as a horse runs, or a bee makes honey, or a vine bears grapes, season after season without thinking of the grapes it has borne. Marcus Aurelius. Whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. Marcus Aurelius. If you set your heart upon philosophy, you must straightway prepare yourself to be laughed at and mocked by many. Epictetus. It is in your power to withdraw yourself whenever you desire. Perfect tranquility within consists in the good ordering of the mind, the realm of your own. Marcus Aurelius. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. Marcus Aurelius. First, do nothing inconsiderately or without a purpose. Second, make your acts refer to nothing else but a social end. Marcus Aurelius. If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. Marcus Aurelius. Pain is neither unbearable nor unending, as long as you keep in mind its limits and don't magnify them in your imagination. Marcus Aurelius. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Epictetus. From this instant on, vow to stop disappointing yourself. Separate yourself from the mob. Decide to be extraordinary and do what you need to do, now. Epictetus. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. Plato. We all sorely complain of the shortness of time, and yet have much more than we know what to do with. Our lives are either spent in doing nothing at all, or in doing nothing to the purpose, or in doing nothing that we ought to do. Seneca. People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Epictetus. A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is. Seneca. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Citium. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. Epictetus. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Seneca. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl. If it is not right, do not do it, if it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius. Cling tooth and nail to the following rule: not to give in to adversity, never to trust prosperity, and always take full note of Fortune's habit of behaving just as she pleases, treating her as if she were actually going to do everything it is in her power to do. Seneca. The whole future lies in uncertainty, live immediately. Seneca. It is impossible to begin to learn that which one thinks one already knows. Epictetus. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Epictetus. Misfortune nobly borne is good fortune. Marcus Aurelius. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Marcus Aurelius. Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater. Epictetus. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Epictetus. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. Seneca. The universe is transformation, life is opinion. Marcus Aurelius. Let all your efforts be directed to something, let it keep that end in view. It's not activity that disturbs people, but false conceptions of things that drive them mad. Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Seneca. Fortune gives us nothing which we can really own. Seneca. Thus, we should love all our dear ones, but always with the thought that we have no promise that we may keep them forever, nay, no promise even that we may keep them for long. Seneca. We should not, like sheep, follow the herd of creatures in front of us, making our way where others go, not where we ought to go. Seneca. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Plato. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. Marcus Aurelius. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Seneca. Death, like birth, is a secret of nature. Marcus Aurelius. The obstacle is the way. Ryan Holiday. No person is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. Wealth is the slave of the wise, the master of the fool. Seneca. It is better to conquer our grief than to deceive it. For if it has withdrawn, being merely beguiled by pleasures and preoccupations, it starts up again and from its very respite gains force to savage us. But the grief that has been conquered by reason is calmed forever. Seneca. He who is brave is free. Seneca. A man is as miserable as he thinks he is. Seneca. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Seneca. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. Seneca. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Seneca. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged. Cleanthes. We are not given a good life or a bad life. We are given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. Ward Foley. The first step, don't be anxious. Nature controls it all. Marcus Aurelius. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Epicurus. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. Just keep in mind, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Epictetus. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Life is long if you know how to use it. Seneca. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control, and some things are not. Epictetus. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. Seneca. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? Epictetus. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Seneca. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations no matter what is going on around you. Epictetus.